So you move out, you go to different friends' houses, and do you start a career? How do you start maintaining yourself as far as work? Because I know knowing you God has gifted you in like the ability to build things and stuff. So tell me, did you start going that route?
Yeah, so I guess to back up, that rock crushing quarry that my grandparents bought, that my dad and his sisters ran, was a great way for them to discipline me. So when I would get in trouble as a kid, restriction really wasn't a thing, although I did have restrictions, but for the most part, you get in trouble and you go up to the pit and shovel. So, man, I was shoveling all the time. I mean, for a minute, man, I'm like, I just need to cut this arm off and attach a shovel here. I mean, this is what I do, man. I'm a shoveling machine. I can shovel like nobody's business,
wow.
man. Yeah, out and down there, it's as hot as it is here. It's 120 degrees in the summertime, and just out there just shoveling and shoveling. So I learned all that to say I learned to work.
Okay.
Yeah, I could work. So by the time 16, when I ran away, yeah, I'm like, what do I need school for, dude? I know how to work. Yeah.
Wow.
So.
And what type of work did you start getting into?
Well, I went. I was a dingbat, so I didn't do. Obviously, I wasn't working at the pit, but I would do some mechanic work here and there, and then I think I moved up to Arcadia and was a grocery bagger for a little while, and just bounced around. So. Then I finally, at 18, I moved back to. By this time, my mom, and my dad have split ways, and my mom's in the house that they bought. So I go back there, and I'm living there, and I got this gal that's a friend of mine. She lives on the street right behind me, and that I like dated her sisters. I can't remember how I knew her, but. So anyways, I'm hanging out with her, and she's like, hey, my boyfriend needs a place to live. So my mom needs some income, so I take the third car garage and I make it into a little apartment for me and Aaron. And Aaron moves in, and that's a whole nother chapter of my life. We weren't doing speed then, but we did so much acid, and that's when I started framing. So I get this job up in La Quinta working for this little company, framing. So now I'm a full-blown alcoholic, and I'm doing hallucinogenics on the weekend, but I'm working. So now I'm working, and I love framing. I love it. It doesn't take long for that bug to get in my skin, and now I'm a worker. So now I go make that transition from just a scumbag to now I'm functioning alcoholic, but now I'm becoming a workaholic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, Monte could build your house in a day.
Yeah.
No joke.
Yeah.
So you're framing, and I know you had a history of like just working and doing drugs at the same time. There's some people that they can only handle so many drugs to a point where they can't function, and they get themselves into trouble because they act like a maniac.
Yeah.
But for some reason, you were functioning, doing drugs and working for a very long time, correct?
Yeah. So it didn't take long till I was dabbling in speed again, and it's just always been my go-to drug. It wasn't long that I was off of it, but so I go to Vegas, and by now I'm a pretty good framer. I like framing. I wouldn't say I'm pretty good at this time, but I'm a good hustler, and I'm a hard worker and a quick learner. So I decided to go to Vegas. I have a gal friend. Wasn't a girlfriend, but this gal, she's going to move to Vegas, and I'm like, I'll go with you. Let's just go. So we go to Vegas, man, and I take my bags and I walk onto a job site and like, hey, looking for work, man. And I get a job that day, and I am in Vegas from 92 to 99, working 7 days a week, sun up to sundown, framing houses in the fastest growing city in the United States.
Wow.
So I am just, at that time, 5 of the 7 years I stayed sober off of meth, and I wasn't doing any hallucinogens. I was just drinking, but I was at that point, I was becoming a pretty serious alcoholic. Alcohol had consumed me by then. So I was functioning alcoholic, but I would work all day, and then at dark we got off, and I would drink till 11, then pass out and get up and do it again, just day after day after day after year after year after year. So.
I bet that took a toll on your body, huh?
Yeah, but it was man.
You were able to get through that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so did Did you get back into speed after that era?
Yeah, so during the last 2 years, I started falling off a bit, started using again. Actually, I started smoking crack for a while. Things just started kind of deteriorating there. I had a fiance at the time, and I had a really bad year that forced me back here in the valley. I had my tools stolen once. I borrowed money and retooled my whole truck. Lock boxes, compressors, saws, guns, everything. And then a dude came first the guy burnt my truck down. Some guy I fired was running a crew and burnt my truck down. So then I borrowed the money and replaced all the tools, and then somebody stole my truck and my tools. So, so I'm like, man. So I load up and I come back and I go to work for this awning company that I'd worked for when I was about 16. Right when my parents moved up, I worked for them for a short time, just welding and doing installs. So I went back to work for them. I was welding, sewing, doing installs, and I was up in Pinion. And Pinion, there's a lot of drug addicts in Pinion. So I got hooked up with them, and it wasn't long before I was, to where I was using and then buying enough to supply my friends, and then buying enough to sell and supply my friends, and then eventually ended up learning to cook and the whole 9 yards. So
making drugs.
Yes. Yeah. So that was.
You gotta get specific because people are like, "Oh, yeah, you were a chef too." Huh?
Yeah, I was a chef too.
No, he was a chef for other things. Okay.
So that was a really dark part of my life. I wasn't being the super functioning alcoholic drug addict that I like to be. It was more of a dark time where things were just kind of falling apart. I'd been struggling for a little while, but still on it, still working, still going. And so then I get this opportunity. My cousin has married a guy, and they're up in Oregon, and he's working for a company that sells homes and that builds homes, and then he's a contractor, so he's kind of subbing himself into there. He's selling a home and then selling himself to build it, sort of thing. And he's trying to build them their own home, but he's so busy with work and with his construction company, he's having trouble having time to build his house. So my cousin says, "Hey, Jim could sure use a hand," and I'm like, "Yeah." So I take off and I head up there, and I get there, and then of course that time, I'm on my way up thinking, oh my gosh, man, I haven't framed in a while. I don't even know if I can do it anymore. Here I am, I'm on dope, and I'm gonna have to go over there and do it sober, and am I even gonna be able to do this? And I get over there, and it's like a fish to water, man. It doesn't take long where I'm framing for him. Now he's getting all the work, and he's having me framing the houses, and we finish his house, and things are clicking, things are going good, man. I'm like, all right, this is amazing. And so I decide I'm gonna move up there. Yeah, but my truck's down here. So when my one truck got burnt in Vegas, I towed my other truck back from Vegas. But being an idiot, I didn't disconnect my driveline. So without the truck started and the driveline engaged, you tow your truck all the way here. It's spinning the tranny without any oil to it. So it just fried everything in the tranny. No. So it fried hard parts. It couldn't even be rebuilt. So I have this nice Ford truck with a tranny problem. So I tell Jim, hey man, I'm gonna fly down there. I'm gonna put a tranny in my truck. I'm gonna come back up. Everything's gonna be golden. So that was the plan. I get down here, and because of my past lifestyle and reputation, I can't get help from nobody that is legitimate. My mom's not gonna help me. My sister, she's got cars everywhere. She's not gonna help me. So I can't get any help, dude. I'm trying to get. I need a vehicle so I can go chase parts down. So I can get. I need to be able to get around, and I just can't find any help. But guess who's willing to help me? Dude, the tweakers are loving to help me. Come on over. Dude, tow it up to my house. Yeah. So now I'm back in Pinion, and this is 2001, and the guy I'm hanging out with, he's doing meth intravenously, and so I learned to do that. So 2001. I remember it's 2001 because I remember being just so high, I'm in a fog, and I'm working on my truck, and I come in from working on my truck, and I come in, and I'm looking on the TV, and the 9/11, the towers are down, there's all this chaos on TV, and it's not even registered, it doesn't even seem real. I'm like, that's just weird, man. So I come back out, and it's not even registering really what I I really couldn't imagine what was really going on. I didn't have the brain capacity to put two and two together at that time. But it affected me because Jim was supposed to send me a check, FedEx, or not FedEx, but Western Union. But the Western Union hub is in New York. So even though I'm in California, I can't get my Western Union check because of the towers in New York.
That affected you.
Yeah, it affected me. I'm like, I can't get my check. Something's seriously wrong. So anyways, so I get sucked up into that. Oh, and that's actually, it's during that time that I learned to cook. So for 10 years, I'm slamming methamphetamines, and but now I have a new wind, a new kind of fire in me. I'm working some jobs and putting things together. I'm framing, and so I'm addicted to cigarettes, and I'm addicted to porn, and I'm addicted to sex, and I'm addicted to meth and alcohol. So from time to time I can put down the meth when I know something important's going on, or I can put that down from time to time. But I didn't think there was such a thing as life without alcohol. I mean, alcohol had taken such a hold on me that it just everywhere I went, there was a beer between my legs when I was driving. I get up in the middle of the night, I'm thirsty, I go to the fridge, I pound a beer. I'm drinking vodka and Southern Comfort and drinking beer all the time.